You're ready for reading today, being Monday, March 30th. Okay, for reading today, you will need your Maple Tree book, ready to write our book report on Maple Tree. Your book report form, okay, listen closely. The book report form is in your language book, okay? So I know this is reading and this is language, but here you go. The book report form, if you grab your language book and you turn to page 153, there's the book report form right there. Okay? So there's your book report form. It is front and back. So make sure you're working on both sides of those. So again, Maple Tree book, your book report form. It's in the book report form is in your language book. So tear it out. This book report is due by Friday. Okay, you have a week to write it. Everything's already done for you in your Maple Tree book. You're just transferring it over to your form. So when you finish, you don't have to wait till Friday. Whenever it's finished, you can have whoever, mom, dad, whoever, snap a picture of it and send it to me, and I will grade it for you, okay? So you need those two things, and then you will need your Bright Side book. We have some pages we're going over in that. So if you need to get those things together, you can pause right here, get those things together, and then come back, okay? All right, so if you're ready, we will look at page 153, your book report form. All right, so you have your form. We did one of these with Pilgrim Boy, so this should be familiar to you. Remember that this is where your reading and keeping up with your summaries has come in. You are starting on page in your Maple Tree book, Secret in the Maple Tree. You are starting on page 152, the beginning. You have all your summaries. Page 153, all your middle summaries. Page 154, all of your ending summaries to your chapters. So you're coming to your book report form on page 153. You have your name and date at the top. And then you're filling these in. Title of the book, author of the book, type of book. You can put chapter book there is fine. Number of pages, main character. Now, see where it says write 2 sentences that describe what the character looked like? Okay, so that comes from page 155. What the character looked like. Write 2 words that describe what kind of person the character was. So what the character looked like, those are outside qualities that we can see, features. What kind of person the character was, those are inside traits. And then did the main character change during the story? I'm going to tell you that's a yes, so please don't put no there. It's a yes and then answer how. Then in your own words, tell about each part of the book. Just like we did before, you are using your summaries as your guide to fill in the beginning, flip over, the middle, and the end of the book, of the story, okay? And then number 7, what do you think the author wanted the reader to learn from this book? That's your opinion, but it does need to be in complete sentences. Matter of fact, the whole book report, you need to be sure that you're following your capitalization rules, your punctuation rules, and that you're writing in complete sentences, okay? Points will be taken off if you don't follow those guidelines, okay? Because we are almost at the end of the year, so we need to be sure in writing our reports that we take our time. This is for a reading grade, okay, a test grade. So you want to be sure that you're taking your time with this. It's no rush. You have 5 days, okay? So I want to see a good summaries of the book, the beginning, middle, and end, capitalization, punctuation. When you're finished, hand it to mom, hand it to dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle. older brother, have them read it. And if they're like, hey, this is great, everything was wonderful, finished. But if they're like, you need to work on some capitalization stuff here, please do that. Take their advice. Okay? So that is your book report form. Now, remember, it comes out of your language book. The form comes out of your language book. Okay? So now let's look at the bright side. Let's look at page 59 for that today. Bright side, page 59. Okay? You read again tomorrow on Friday, I believe it was Friday, maybe Thursday, I can't remember. One of those days, that was last week, so that's kind of hard for me to remember. But anyway, we read this story about this missionary family, and you were to finish it and answer the questions and think about it, the cause and effect on page 59. So this story was about a young boy who didn't have friends, right? And he wanted to leave. And so he kind of goes through those feelings. I mean, those are natural feelings. And then at the end, you know, he receives friends. And these people have not heard about Jesus. So he feels guilty wanting to leave and them not being able to have a chance to hear about Jesus. So on page 59, you were to draw a line from the lemon to the lemonade to match each cause to its effect. Okay? So let me see. Johnny was upset and wanted to return home when... Jamel. Hey, Jamel. Happy Monday to you. So Jamel calls. Johnny was upset and wanted to return home when... The last one? He thought the boys did not want to be his friends. That is correct. He was upset. He thought the boys did not want to be his friends. Okay? Second one. Johnny wanted to be friends with the boys when... Let's see. Jeremiah. Happy birthday, Jeremiah. Day late. So let's see, Jeremiah. Johnny wanted to be friends with the boys when he realized they needed to come to know Jesus. Okay? Next cause. Johnny was able to make friends with the boys when... let's see who can answer that one for us. Oh, sorry. Aiden. Hey, Aiden, can you answer that one for us? Johnny was able to make friends with the boys when he showed them he was friendly. You want to be a friend to people. You want to have friends. That's a two-way street. You can't just expect people to be kind to you and you not be kind to them and speak to them and, you know, show them love as well. You can't expect it to be all for you and you not reciprocate. You know, that's a friend loveth at all times, what the Bible says. Last cause, the boys came to play with Johnny when... Let's see. Charlie. Hey, Charlie. When did the boys came to play with Johnny when they realized they were not that different from each other? Okay? Now, do we all have to, you know, we don't all look the same, right? I mean, we all look different. We can be friends with everyone. I mean, we can, older, younger. You know, I have friends that are 20 or 30 years older than me. So, I mean, we can be friends. The Bible says to show yourself friendly, show thyself friendly. So, I mean, we want to have that fruit, that love. I mean, that shows joy and peace, right? When we're friendly with people. If we're, you know, looking down and we're not happy and we've got a grimace on our face, we look like we're angry. People may not, I mean, they may be a little standoffish to you. They might think, well, maybe, you know, she's sad or upset today. So let's just try to be sure that, you know, you never know what someone's going through, what a little card or a FaceTime might do for someone here. So again, just being friendly. All right. When I was at school, a truck came by, a big truck came by, and it's kind of going slow, coming in front of the school. He had just stopped at the stoplight, and he was just looking out there at us, and I just waved, and he waved back. So I mean, just be friendly. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to wave at someone, and you never know, you might make a difference in their day. Okay, so let's look at page 60. The Golden Windows by Laura E. Richards. Let me give you an introduction here. It's easy to look at others and wish you had what they have. The boy in this story sees a house in the distance that looks much nicer than his. What will he discover later in the story? The Golden Windows. I'll begin. Once a little boy lived on a small farm in the hills. All day long, the little boy worked hard in field and barn and shed, for his people were poor farmers and could not pay a workman. At sunset, there came an hour that was all his own, for his father had given it to him. Then the boy would go up to the top of a hill and look across at another hill that rose some miles away. On this far hill stood a house with windows of clear gold and diamonds. They shone and blazed so that it made the boy wink to look at them. But after a while, the people in the house put up shutters, as it seemed, and then it looked like any common farmhouse. The boy supposed they did this because it was supper time. Then he would go into the house and have his supper of bread and milk and go to bed. Let me find a reader here. Cam. Hey, Cam. So if you would read the next 2 paragraphs that start at one day. Thank you, Cam. It was pleasant walking. His bare feet made marks in the white dust, and when he looked back, the footprints seemed to be following him and making company for him. His shadow, too, kept beside him and would dance or run with him as he pleased, so it was very cheerful. Let's get one more reader to finish out the page here. Chloe. Hey, Chloe. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. So if you, let me slide these over here. So if you could finish that page for us, just that last paragraph, by and by. Thank you, Chloe. So we'll turn over to page 62, okay? Page 62. After a long time, he came to a high green hill. When he had climbed the hill, there was the house on the top, but it seemed that the shutters were up, for he could not see the golden windows. He came up to the house, and then he could, let me start over. He came up to the house, and then he could well have wept. The windows were of clear glass like any others, and there was no gold anywhere about them. So what I'd like for you to do today is to finish page 62, read through to page 65. I miss our reading time together, but if you could read through to page 65 and then answer the questions on page 65, we will start there tomorrow with our review of the Golden Windows, and we will start our reading with the star, the poem on page 66. Okay, so just to kind of recap quickly, Maple Tree, book report form, which is in your language book. page 153 to 154. That book report's due by Friday. You don't have to wait till Friday. Send it to me when it's finished. Bright side, you're going to finish reading pages 62 through page 65 and answer the questions on page 65. Okay, so that's our reading lesson for today. And if you're following along, our next subject will be language.